Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome once again to our Facebook Jazz Club, Virtual Jazz Club. For any new folks who might be joining us for the first time tonight, we are Laura Dubin and Antonio Guerrero. We're doing these live stream concerts from our home every single night, no nights off. And I counted today, this is actually concert number 35 for us. 35 days in a row we've been doing 35, these. Yeah. And there are many, many more to come.
And not repeating any tunes.
Nope, we haven't played any song twice
different.
Yet. Yep. It's a great challenge for us to be able to do that. So thank you so much for being here. Please leave us a comment and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from, whether you are here in Rochester or in any other part of the world or in another galaxy.
Galaxy. Dimension. Reality.
Planet.
Universe. Multiverse.
Multiplex. That's not. That's not a galactic term. So tonight we'd like to start off with a tune by the musician and composer Stanley Turrentine, and this piece is called Sugar. And because that is a subject that I really enjoy, you'll get to see some very sweet pictures up here. And we could have used the same slideshow when we played a tune called Sweet Stuff recently. We're going to play it tonight for the song Sugar.
Sugar.
That's our wedding cake up there. Oh, it's gone. Oh, there it is. was a tune called Sugar by Stanley Turrentine. And just a little bit of a disclaimer here. All these pictures that you just saw are like 8 years worth of photos. So it's not like we're eating that stuff, every single day of our life. It's just that when we do, of course, it's so special that I have to take a photo. I'm one of those people that loves to take photos of food. I am that person, yes. So anyway, little disclaimer there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We've been so happy to share our music with you during this time. It's been such a joy for us. Next, we'd like to play a piece by Fred Hirsch. And I've mentioned Fred several times recently because we've played some of his compositions and arrangements in our previous concerts. But for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, I'd just like to talk a little bit about Fred Hirsch for a minute. He is a prolific jazz pianist and composer, one of the most prominent jazz pianists on the scene today. And I feel really fortunate to have been able to call him a teacher of mine over the last, I was going to say last few years. I've actually known him like half my life now that I think about it. Makes me feel like I'm getting a little older now that I have that thought.
16?
I was 16 when we met.
Wow.
So I had a really lucky opportunity when I was 16 to have a piano lesson with Fred Hirsch in New York, where he is based. And at that time, it was just before my senior year of high school. So I was getting ready to do college auditions. I knew I wanted to go to music school and study jazz piano. I just didn't know where I wanted to go yet. And at the time I had the lesson with Fred Hirsch, he was a visiting professor at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo. And that means that he would go there once a semester and he would teach lessons for the jazz students. He would do master classes. He would do his own concerts, sometimes solo, sometimes with his trio. But it was such a special opportunity for the students. And I did end up going to Western Michigan University. Woo! If there are any Broncos watching tonight, represented. I ended up going there thanks to Fred's recommendation. It was one of the best decisions I ever could have possibly made in my life. It was the most wonderful, special place. I'm so, so thankful for my time there. And one of the great things was that I was able to keep studying with Fred while I was there because every semester he would come out and do lessons and I would have a chance to get to know him and study with him. It was just such an incredible experience. We've still been in touch these last few years since I graduated. Actually, it's been more than a few years. It feels like just a few years, but we're still in touch, and his music has been such an inspiration to me ever since I met him. And this piece that we're going to play next is a very special piece for me. It's called Rain Waltz. And by the way, it's a very appropriate song for today because it's been raining here all day in beautiful rainy Rochester. We expect nothing less this time of year. This composition, Rain Waltz, comes from Fred's album called Heart Songs. We played a piece, actually the piece called Heart Song from the same album a few nights ago. Rain Waltz is probably the first jazz composition that I ever listened to that's a little bit different than like your typical jazz standard as far as the form of the piece, the chord structure. It's got a lot of things that are just very atypical compared to like what you might call, kind of a typical jazz standard. And I listened to that piece so many times in a row, and it was kind of like just a light bulb moment for me in my life. I distinctly remember actually when I was in college up in the music library, I borrowed this CD because they had lots of jazz CDs in the music library at Western, which was so great. And I just remember listening to this piece like 5 times in a row the first time I heard it. And it just was like this really kind of revelation moment for me. And that just made me want to dive even deeper into Fred's music. Something really interesting about this composition is that even though it's in 3/4, it's called Rain Waltz. If you're listening to it without counting along, it actually sounds like it's in 4/4 because of the bass line, or in this case, what I'm doing with the left hand. So if you want to challenge yourself, you can try kind of tapping a beat while listening to this. But I think it's better if you just sit back and relax and enjoy the music.
It's the kind of piece like for every instrument. It's so interesting. The bass line is so special.
Mm-hmm. What the drums do over the bass
chords,
line.
The melody, how it's going, and the space between notes allows you to do a lot of
freedom,
a lot of things, and because this kind of sensation of 4/4 over 3/4
Something
is
unique.
always something that, well, gives your brain like a where are we?
Yeah, it keeps your brain
Where
active
are
for
we?
sure.
There or in 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fred.
Yes.
And thank you for the Western Michigan, because I think I have to say thank you too, because
Technically,
because
we
that
wouldn't have met
decision,
without Fred.
yeah, because that decision we just met. And
That
this is,
decision changed my
always,
life.
Yeah. It's
So
always
to
nice.
digress just for another minute, because I think we might have a few new listeners here tonight, especially if there was anybody who saw us on the news yesterday and might be here for the first time now. Antonio and I met when we were playing together in a jazz trio on a cruise ship, and it was the two of us and our dear friend Dennis Shebekov, who played bass, and he sang, and he was the leader of the trio. And Dennis was a friend of mine from Western Michigan University, and Dennis and I knew each other, and then Dennis knew Antonio because Dennis graduated a few years before I did, and he was already working on ships for a little while, and at some point he and Antonio ended up in the same band together. And so Dennis invited each of us, knowing each of us individually, he invited us both to his next contract. This is after I graduated. And that's how we met. So yes, technically, if it weren't for Fred, Antonio and I would have never met. So
thank you for your music.
Yeah,
for
our
your
gratefulness to Fred Hirsch is just ongoing forever. So we hope you enjoy Fred's beautiful composition called Rain Waltz. That was Rain Waltz by the great pianist and composer Fred Hirsch. I love that piece so much. That piece has had a lot of meaning for me in my life ever since I first heard it. So I feel like very emotional every time we play it. It's just, it brings back so many like special memories for me, and there's just always something more to learn with this piece and all of Fred's music, but this piece in particular is just like so many special things about them that you can just delve into forever. So if you're enjoying the music tonight and you'd like to see us continue doing these videos for as long as possible, please head on over to lauradubin.com. There's a link right in the video here, and the link will actually take you directly to the music/store page of my website. And there are 3 different things that you can do there. You can download all of our albums. We've got 7 albums for you to choose from. Album number 8 is on the way sometime in the very near future. That'll be coming soon. So you've got plenty of music to listen to these next few weeks or months, so we hope you will check those out. You can also make a one-time donation of any amount you choose from the suggested amounts. And this is just, if you scroll a little bit past the pictures of the album covers, that's where you'll see this option. You can choose any amount that you'd like, and if you'd like to change the amount, you can adjust the quantity. So like, for example, if you want to donate $40, you can go to the $20 option and then change the quantity to 2. So you can get to do a little math that way. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you'll see the 3rd and final option, which is to become a monthly patron of Laura Dubin Jazz. So that is an automatic recurring credit card payment that you'll set up. You will see a drop-down menu where you can click on the amount that you'd like to donate once per month. And then when you click on the yellow button, you will be redirected to a PayPal website. And that's where you'll set up your automatic credit card payment. You only have to set it up one time, and then it's literally just going to be automatic after that, once per month. This subscription amount, this donation amount will go through. And that's a great way to show your ongoing support if you'd like to just kind of do something once and know that you're going to keep contributing automatically for as long as you want. You can always cancel at any time with no penalty if your situation changes further down the road and you need to do that. Please know that the PayPal website is secure. It stores your information securely. My website is also secure. However, if you want to make a donation but you prefer not to do it online, please send me a private message here on Facebook. We can talk about another method. And if you're unable to make a financial contribution right now, that's okay. We really, really appreciate you being here. It's so great to have noticed how our audience has been growing every night over the past 35 nights. Yeah. So we really appreciate all of you for watching, and especially those of you who've been, those of you who've been watching every night, and those of you who've been sharing our videos on your own Facebook pages. It's great promotion for us when you do that, so we highly encourage that. All of our live stream videos are public, meaning that other people can share them on their own Facebook pages, and it's been a really great way for us to expand our audience through the internet. So we really appreciate those of you who have been doing that. Thank you. Let's continue on with the music. This next piece is by a wonderful pianist and composer named Michel Petrucciani, who was a French pianist. We actually saw his gravestone when we were in Paris last summer, and he's actually buried right next to Frédéric Chopin, which I thought was pretty special. We didn't know that he was, buried in that particular cemetery.
We were looking just for Chopin, right? But suddenly we saw, oh my God, here is Petrucciani.
There's a beautiful cemetery in Paris where many, well-known musicians and writers and artists have been buried, and Frédéric Chopin was one of them. So we went there to actually pay a visit and pay our respects to Frédéric Chopin, and we discovered that Michel Petrucciani was right there next to him. So that was kind of our special story about him. But he was a wonderful pianist and composer, and I first heard this album, and I think the album is just called Music, isn't it? That album that you have by him?
Yes.
It's just great title for an album, Music. Can't get any more broad than that.
I saw him, and he was playing in Mexico, but only piano solo.
Oh wow!
No trio, just him.
Wow.
Well, it was incredible.
That's amazing. Yes. I wish I could have had a chance to see him live, but one of the first albums that we listened together when we first started living together was this album that you
Yeah.
had, and I remember in particular I loved this piece of music so much. It's just so joyful, and so like bright and cheerful sounding. This is a piece called "Looking Up." pardon me, I just sneezed right on the very last note of the song. I'm actually going to step out of the camera for like 2 seconds and blow my nose because I don't want all of you to see that. I will be right back.
Well, in that case, I think I should say that the next piece that we're going to play is another Horace Silver tune. And this is not that famous, but it's a very interesting tune also because it has this metric that we love it, which is the 5/4.
Yeah.
And switch from 5/4 to 3/4, and it has some kind of juicy.
Exactly. Did you say the title?
Yes.
It's called Jungle Juice.
Jungle Juice.
And the name of the album is just as great. It comes from an album called Serenade to a Soul Sister. What a great album title. This is one of those compositions that I wish I had written because it's in my favorite time signature and my favorite minor key, which is E minor. And it's got such a fun left-hand bass line going on and just like really hip chords. And it's got like a little bit of everything that I love. So I guess that's why we immediately gravitated toward this tune when we heard it. So this is Horace Silver's Jungle Juice.
Exactly. You.
Yep. A couple of our friends, Linda and Chris and Dave Verlone, if he's watching, played this piece with us at our Horace Silver concert a few years ago. called Jungle Juice by Horace Silver. You can't not love a tune with that title. And earlier tonight we played Sugar, and then we played Jungle Juice. We'll have to pick some other food-related tunes to play soon. So we've got just a couple songs left for you tonight. And for those of you who are just joining us tonight for the first time, please leave us a comment and say hello, because we like to chat with all of you for a few minutes in real time after the video, or not after the video ends, but after we finish playing the music. I like to take a look through the comments, and we like to say hello to everybody who's watching, so feel free to do that. Let us know where you're listening from. We'd love to know how far our music is traveling. Next, we'd like to play a great jazz standard from the Great American Songbook. This is called All or Nothing at All, and this arrangement is kind of inspired by the saxophonist John Coltrane's arrangement. It's got a little bit of a Latin twist to it. It's a great quote from Helen Keller right there. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. I love that quote. Found a lot of quotes about all or nothing at all. But I just wanted to read that one out loud because I love that so much. was a jazz standard called All or Nothing at All. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We've got just one tune left to play for you, but we will be back here again at the same time tomorrow night, and as far as we know right now, every night until the end of time. So we thank you so much for being along on this journey with us, and we hope that you'll continue to watch and continue to share these videos with your friends. These videos are always available on Facebook to watch even after the concert ends. So if you're not able to watch them in real time when we're doing them live, that's totally okay. You can always tune in later on or the next day or whenever you'd like to. These videos are here forever. If you have any friends who would like to watch who aren't on Facebook, they should know that they can still watch them here on Facebook even if they don't have a Facebook account. They just won't be able to make a comment on the video or anything like that, but they can watch it. We are also uploading these videos to YouTube. My YouTube channel is called Laura Dubin Jazz, so you can also let your friends know to watch there, or you can watch them there. We hope that you'll also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course like this page if you haven't liked it yet. If you're watching this on my personal Facebook page, you can head on over to my Facebook music page, Laura Dubin Jazz. That's where we are doing these live stream videos, although I'm sharing them to my my personal Facebook page
and
as well.
visiting lauradubin.com.
Yeah.
You can watch the videos there.
Yeah, you can
You
see
don't
them
have
there.
to even go to YouTube.
Exactly,
It's
you
a
can just
good
go
thing.
right to the
You
website.
can watch them there.
So there's no escaping us. We're everywhere. Everywhere you go,
Yes.
there we are. I think that's a quote from someone. We really, truly thank you for being here with us. If you've been enjoying the music tonight, please head on over to my website, lauradubin.com, after this last song, or you can head there now on another device if you want. You can always come back here. There's a link right in the video. It'll take you to the music and store page of my website. You can download our albums. We've got 7 great albums for you to choose from. You can make a one-time donation of any amount that you choose. There are several amounts there that you can pick from, and you can adjust them if you'd like by changing the quantity. And you can also become a monthly patron of Laura Dubin Jazz. That's the third and final option that you'll see on the bottom of the page. And you can choose the amount that you'd like to donate once per month, and then when you click on the subscribe button, you will be redirected to a PayPal website where you can set up your automatic monthly credit card payment from there. And that's a great way to just keep your ongoing support, to show your ongoing support without having to do individual donations, on a consistent basis. You can just set up this automatic thing, and then you just set it up once, and then that's it. And if you ever need to cancel at any point further down the road, if your situation changes, there's no penalty if you do need to cancel. You can always go back and manage your settings. PayPal stores your information securely. My website is also a secure site. However, if you wish to make a donation and you prefer not to do it online, send me a private message here on Facebook and we can talk about another method. And of course, if you're unable to make a donation right now, that's absolutely okay. We're so grateful that you're here, and I really want you to know that I'm being very sincere every time, every time I say this, every time we say it. We really, truly appreciate you being here, watching our videos and listening to our music every night. It's really meant the world to us to have so much incredible support from the community in Rochester and beyond.
Yeah, you make us feel like we are playing for somebody.
Yeah, which is a really nice feeling to have.
Very nice, thank you.
Especially since we can't see you in real life.
Yes. I want to mention that if some people has Amazon Music or Spotify or
Apple Music,
Apple
which
Music,
used to be iTunes.
yes,
Yeah.
we have some of our albums there.
Yeah.
But obviously,
Most of the albums are there.
we encourage the people to better get the albums directly with us.
Yeah.
Because
well,
it's better.
Yeah. Not everybody's aware of this, and so I just want to mention this in case you're not aware, not for to say anything negative or whatever, but simply because not everybody knows this. But music streaming platforms, obviously, they're great for getting our music out into the world, and that's a good thing. However, it's much better for the artists, as in us or any musician, when you purchase music directly from them, as opposed to getting it from a streaming site or another website like Amazon or Apple Music. As you can probably guess, those places take quite a share of the album sales. But however, if you get them directly from my website, that all goes to us.
Yeah,
So that's really the best way to
and I
buy our
think-
music if you would like to.
Yeah, and it works exactly the same. I mean, musically speaking, I mean, you can play it in any platform because
Yep, any
it's
device,
a
yeah.
standard format.
Yeah.
But in this case, you really own the music.
Mm-hmm.
You can
You're not
transfer
just
the
streaming
music
it.
to your computer or any of your devices, and you can listen
Yeah.
everywhere.
In our opinion, that's better than just streaming something. But I'm one of those people that I like to have a tangible product, even if it's whether it's a CD or if it's a download. But if it's something that I really own and I can keep it forever, it's not just something that I'm, have to pay a subscription to listen to and not actually have.
But anyway,
So,
if the
I'm glad you
people
brought
just
that up.
no, but if the people just want to listen our music and have it in wherever, Amazon Music, Spotify, or
Mhm.
anything,
Yep.
we really
Apple
appreciate
Music.
that.
Yeah.
Just the fact
We're
that
happy
you
when
actually
people listen no
it.
matter
Thank
what,
you.
yeah.
It's not just about. I mean,
It's not only about the money. I
It's
just wanted
not
to kind
about
of
business, no,
give that
it's
little
just
PSA,
to share
public
the
service
music is
announcement.
important,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because not everybody's aware
Exactly.
of that, because
yeah, just that.
why would anybody be? It's not like common knowledge for anybody except musicians on
Yes.
the other side of that the situation.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your support. Please leave a comment if you haven't done so yet, because we'd love to say hello to you after we play this last tune, which is, oh, I love this song. This is a great tune by the legendary saxophonist Sonny Rollins, called Doxy. It's spelled Doxy. that is all the music for tonight. That was Sonny Rollins' composition called Doxy. If you'd like to stick around and chat with us, if you'd like to stick around and chat with you, if you'd like to talk with us for a little while, we'd love to say hello. I'm going to look through all the comments now and see who's out there watching. Thank you so much once again for joining us. We'll be back here again at the same time tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to get my trusty phone out here. And I realized something over the last few days, and those of you who have been watching our concerts already know this, but for anybody who is here for the first time tonight, I try to read through all the comments. However, because this video is still live right now, sometimes some of the earlier comments don't show up immediately when I'm here. So if I miss you, I am going to read through all the comments after the live stream ends, and I will reply to any of the ones that I missed. Just a little disclaimer: it's Facebook's fault, not my fault. It's not me, it's them. It's not you, it's me. In this case, it's the opposite of it's not you, it's me. It's or it's not you, it's Facebook. We'll say that. So, today we've had a lot of people watching tonight.
Yeah,
it's so
thank
great.
you.
Definitely notice the numbers increasing
growing.
every night.
Nice.
Yay. All right. Linda's watching. Hi, Linda.
Yeah,
Great to
Linda.
see you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Linda.
Your mom is watching. Hola, Ma.
Mama.
And Alejandro and Ale
Ale.
Jr. and Deanna.
Thank
And
you.
Alejandro's on Facebook now. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
My
we have a
brother-in-law.
new member.
Yeah. Welcome
you.
to the dark side. We're so glad that you joined, because it's great to
Thank
be able
you.
to stay in touch that way. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to all our family in Mexico. They've all been sharing our videos a lot recently, and I noticed that the last 30 or more people who liked my Facebook page recently were all from Mexico City, so we're so excited about
Thank you.
that, and we're so happy to have everybody here. Bienvenido, did I say that right?
Yeah.
It's great when people like this page. It's not exactly just because it's like please like us. Facebook kind of has a way of sounding like that's what it's about. But the more people like a page, the more traction that page has, and so Facebook will show
In the news feed.
in the news feed, our videos and everything more prominently. So it's just great because that's how we grow our audience. So it's really for that.
It's our promotion.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's also for you, because if you like the page, then you'll be notified every time we do a video, or anytime we post anything.
which is all related with music.
Yeah,
We are not that
it's all
kind of
music
people
stuff
who's
on this page.
posting about I feel
Yeah, I don't post any of my
blue
food
or-
pictures on my Facebook music page. Maybe on my personal Facebook page sometimes, but not on the music page. That's all about just our music. And I just lost my train. Oh, I was gonna say that those of you who watched yesterday, you know that we had a little technical difficulty in the beginning, and we didn't start right at 8:30, like we always do. But if you like the page, then you'll be notified if for some reason anything like that happens again. I do at least make a post that the live stream is coming, even if it's not right at 8:30. So you'll just be kind of more in the know when that happens, which should not be the primary reason for liking the page, because we hope that won't happen again.
Yeah.
But anyway, you'll be notified every time, there's any news to share. So that's a great thing to do. Aw. Oh, and, your brother says, thanks for sharing with us a piece of your love story. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. That must have been the rain waltz, because we were talking about how we met. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that includes all of you
Yes,
and
we
our
are.
family in Mexico. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Yay.
We are so lucky to have such a beautiful family in
Yeah.
Mexico and here in Rochester. Thank you for our family here in Rochester for support.
Absolutely.
Jan, Shaban, and all the family. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
very
you so much. And I'm sure that my dad and Siobhan are watching, so I'm going to say hi
Thank
to
you.
them right now. Thank you so much. I haven't scrolled through all the comments yet, but I know that they've been two of our biggest supporters here in Rochester, and
Yeah.
since we started doing these videos, we appreciate it so much that that our family is watching every night. Thank you.
The Dubin family and the Weisman family, the Weisman side. All thank you, David
Yeah,
and
we feel
Ross
very
and
lucky.
Margie and
Yeah.
I
Uncle David.
thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Donna. Great to see you again. Thank you so much
Donna,
for watching.
thank you for watching.
She says thanks
Our
for
beautiful friends too.
yeah.
Linda, Donna,
Yeah.
Betsy, and well, so many good
we're
friends.
so lucky to have so many
Lynn,
friends.
well, I can just
Yeah.
going and going.
I know,
Yes.
which is such a great thing.
Yeah.
We're really lucky.
Thank you.
Donna says it's Madeline Peyrou's birthday today or yesterday. Oh, she's a great singer. I love her. She appeared at the Rochester Jazz Festival. I think I remember when that happened. I think I was in high school when she was at the Jazz Fest. And I don't think I knew who she was back then, but then a couple years later I discovered her music. She's a beautiful jazz singer. And then I was kind of bummed that I had missed her Jazz Festival concert a few years earlier, because then I became a big fan of hers. And looking back on my poster from another year, I realized that she had been here and I missed it. Hopefully she'll be back again someday. Linda says, so much fun hearing Horace Silver's pieces. Now familiar to me, thanks to you and Antonio. Yeah, I think you played that Jungle Juice with us. It was so much fun. I love that tune so much. I love all of Horace's music. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dave Boyer is watching again. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, Dave and Cindy. Thank you. Thank you for
watching.
watching.
This is nice. So Dave says, great advice about purchasing. I didn't know that either. So that's the only reason I mentioned up, not because I want to like make anybody feel guilty for using Spotify or anything like that. It's really just because those streaming websites don't make the consumer aware of that fact. So as independent artists, we kind of like to let you know that that's the case, and then you can make your own decision about where you'd like to listen to our music, but at least it'll be an informed decision.
Of course, we are lucky to have all that distribution all over the world.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Is very
yeah,
nice,
that's the other side of the coin.
Can you imagine if somebody ordered an album from Australia and we
Which
just send... Yeah, but probably it's gonna be more money just to send the album.
Just send a package there. So that's the good thing about
just for
online
that.
distribution.
But yeah, we appreciate all the distribution. And even YouTube too and everything.
Can I share that story about what happened to us in Paris?
Oh yeah, that was great.
When Antonio and I were in Paris, this is such a fun night. So we were at a jazz club. I don't remember the name of the club because we went to different jazz clubs like every night in Paris.
The one which is like in a cave.
Yeah, there were a couple jazz clubs like that. So there was the Caveau de la Huche, which was one of them. This was another one that I think was probably also called.
But that was
Caveau.
just like I went at least when we were there, most for dancing. And things like that. But this
club was more
was
like
a jazz.
Yeah,
people just listening, and it was very nice.
Yeah, so there are a lot of these like literally underground jazz clubs in Paris because, as we learned while we were there, during World War II, jazz was forbidden. However, that didn't stop people from figuring out ways to listen to it and play
Jazz always survives.
Yeah, absolutely. It's resilient. So these underground jazz clubs, I guess kind of like the equivalent of what we had like speakeasies here when when Prohibition was going on. There are all these underground jazz clubs in Paris, and literally like you step down into this stone cave. So it was beautiful. So we were in one of these jazz clubs one night. We were actually sitting in because there was a jam session going on. That's actually another reason why we went to those every night, because we actually played like every night at jam sessions. But after we played a couple tunes, we met. Oh, and actually, there's a funny story about how we met. There was a gentleman in the audience from Spain who we ended up befriending, and maybe you can tell the story about how we became friends with this guy. You were doing your palmas.
It was some guitar player in the bar, and he invited us a drink. And then we were talking about the flamenco music and how the palmas,
this type of Spanish music,
and
very traditional Spanish.
They do some kind of movement like this where they do the palmas very fast.
Yeah, it's actually way harder than it looks. Well, it looks hard to me.
This is the kind of thing that they do, and I was doing just this.
Yeah,
thing.
Antonio was doing this, like demonstrating to someone.
Yeah, but just like
for fun. Yeah,
for fun. Yeah, exactly. And then some guy behind me, he was from Madrid, and he says, "Oh my God, where are you from?" And we
I heard palmas.
Talking. I heard palmas. Flamenco. What is that? And we start talking. He invited us to his table with
we ended up
3 different couples. One couple from Germany.
Yep.
He was from Spain.
I think he was from Spain, and his wife was from Germany.
Yeah.
And they all, I think, some of them. The other couple lived in Paris, but I think they were also French and German originally. But we ended
nice time.
Yeah, they were such great friends that we made spontaneously, and from all over the world, which was really, really cool. Just cool to share an experience like that. Anyway, the reason I brought this story up was because we became friends with these people in this jazz club, and then, we shared our, business card and contact info and everything with them, and, said stay in touch. 2 days later, we were in Paris, but I still had, email on my phone. I got an email notification from my website that somebody had purchased a whole bunch of our CDs. And I looked at the address. It was somebody in Germany. It was actually the gentleman who we had just met.
Yeah.
And it was really perfect that they ordered them while we were still in France, because the shipping wasn't really that expensive because we were already in Europe. And it also worked out that we just happened to bring a whole bunch of our CDs with us.
We sold all of them.
We sold them all.
It was great.
And, it was funny because we brought all those CDs partly because we were doing some performances in Paris. And one of our performances was on like the second to last night we were there, but we were actually there for 2 weeks. We ended up either selling almost all the albums before we even got to the gig, or we gave a couple away to some jazz club owners for promotional purposes. But it was funny because we brought them for that gig, but we ended up making a lot of friends while we were there who actually purchased them directly from us. So by the time we got to our performance at Lake Canapé, the CDs were gone. So
almost gone.
Yeah, I think we had one left, or four.
No,
we had four, and somebody bought them
exactly.
all. Like, somebody came up to us immediately after we finished playing and
remember,
purchased them
we told him, like, well, we have four, and the guy says, I want all.
Yeah.
I want all of them. So, really?
Which we're not complaining about that at all. We were so excited about that.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the audience, we had to tell them, just go to my website. You can download everything. So it's not a bad problem to have.
No, we
when
enjoy.
When you mentioned the thing about mailing a CD to Australia a few minutes ago, that made me remember that story. So we like to reminisce, especially now, when we're kind of at home a lot, reflecting on memories and stuff. Linda says, what a fun piece to finish the evening. Oh, thank you. That was Doxy. That is such a fun tune. And most of the time, that tune is a lot faster. A lot of musicians like to play that really up-tempo. But we love to play it at this like slow, bluesy tempo. And actually, to go back to Fred Hirsch for a minute, I got the idea for that from him because he has a couple of recordings of Doxy where he plays it at that tempo, and I think it sounds so awesome like that. It's just got a completely different feeling. Joanne's watching again. Hi, Joanne. Thank you so much for joining us. She says, what an enjoyable evening. Oh, yeah, your brother says he joined just to follow our concert, Jay. Thank you so much. That means so much to us that you
very
literally
much.
made a Facebook account
really
for
appreciate
this.
that.
Thank you so
Ali.
much. So great to have you here.
Thank you.
Betsy's watching. Hi, Betsy.
Yeah,
It's so
Betsy.
great to see you. Sending you a big hug.
Yeah. Is your granddaughter? She was saying something.
Yeah, her granddaughter was watching the last couple nights with her.
Is she playing piano or she?
Betsy, if you're watching right now, does your granddaughter play piano, or does
Because
she
I
play an
remember she
instrument?
mentioned something about piano, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
if
we
it was
were talking about it.
just she enjoyed the piano.
Yeah, when you and Paul brought her to the Little, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. It was so sweet to meet her. I remember she was really paying attention, which I think is really impressive for a kid to have, be able to pay that close attention to music.
Yeah. Thank you, Betsy.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Alejandro says, don't ever forget you have all our admiration and support. Thank you. It means so much to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Gracias.
So I probably missed some earlier comments simply because this video is still live and they might not all be showing up right now. But I am going to look through these later tonight. And if there were any comments that I missed just now, I will reply to them all. And let me just go to my other Facebook page real quick, make sure I didn't miss anybody there. I think that was everyone. Thank you so much, guys. Great to have you all here again and to see you, even if we're just kind of seeing each other virtually. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you back here at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Over here now.
The comments?
No, the iPad. I was about to go like that.